This dog is following the wrong owner. In order to satisfy his dirty heart, his owner wanted to hang the dog to death in the air. When the relevant people received the report, they found that the dog had been tortured to death. Considering that saving his life is more important, the staff didn't immediately pursue the dog's owner's responsibility but wanted the dog who was about to suffocate to breathe. However, the dog's owner's heart or the rope-tied dog's body was too tight, so the man couldn't help the dog breathe. He thought he could wake the dog up after the dog was released, but the dog's body was untied. At this moment, there was no reaction. The angry staff really wanted to investigate the dog's owner's whereabouts immediately, but if the dog's life was not rescued in time at this moment, it would certainly die soon. So the man could only put his hopes on the recovery of his heart and lungs, hoping to save the dog's life. Recently, fans have been urging me to go home early to edit the video. Recently, I changed to a new car, so I bought a new BMW. I sold the Melon in the second-hand car, which sold 20% more than the offline store. The Melon is the National Buyers Auction model. There were more than 20 buyers on the day the Melon was put in the car. I sold it at a high price. On the day of the auction price was the first price. If you want to sell a car, go to the lower left corner and buy it for free. You can also go to the Melon to buy a car. You can buy a Tesla 99,000 now. In short, buy a second-hand car and go to the Melon. Considering that the dog's rescue cannot be delayed, the man took the dog to the pet hospital in a hurry. In the face of the dog's critical condition, the vet can only try to do the last leaf treatment for the dog. Can he be lucky enough to get through the difficulties? But there is one thing that gives everyone great hope. Because the dog's breath didn't abandon him. As the drug injected into his body, the dog didn't wake up as lucky as other dogs. The dog has always been at the critical point of life. Even in his dream, he was in a cold war. As time went by, the vet could only use a big trick. He took a yellow needle and decided to save the dog's life by forcibly closing the door. Can the dog successfully get through the difficulties? However, after the injection of the drug, the dog, who had been in a coma, never woke up. But the pet hospital checked his body again and found that his heart rate and condition had improved significantly. But the dog was in a state of coma, as if he was taking revenge on humans. He was so exhausted that he couldn't wake up. However, when everyone was in despair, the dog finally woke up without us worrying. But the weak dog was in a terrible state at the moment. He was wondering if he had been hanged to death by his master. But the dog's ending was finally good. After suffering from the previous disaster, he indirectly escaped from his former master.